We're always looking for some kind of roadmap to a meaningful life. But what if the most powerful compass we could ever have was actually handed down to us by our grandparents? Today, we're going to dive into how these timeless Filipino values can be our true north for building a modern life filled with purpose and a legacy that really lasts. And this quote from the book, PAALALA ni Lolo, man, it just gets right to the heart of it all. Think about it. Our character, our values, they aren't really forged in a classroom or some big corporate boardroom. Nope, they're shaped right there at home with our family. So the core idea here is that values like discipline, integrity, and love, they aren't just things our elders told us about. They're principles that were woven into the very fabric of daily life. Through the quiet, steady example of our parents and grandparents. It was all about what was lived, not just what was said. Okay, so how does this foundation actually get built? Well, the very first cornerstone is integrity. In Filipino culture, trust is absolutely everything. It's the glue that holds families, communities, and even businesses together. And the bedrock of all that trust? It's integrity. This brings us to a really core concept, palabra de honor. It literally means word of honor. You see, our elders taught that back when, a person's spoken word was enough to seal any deal. No contracts, no fine print. Your promise was your bond. And breaking it, that brought shame not just on you, but on your entire family. It's such a powerful idea, especially today, in a world where words can sometimes feel so cheap and promises, well, they can be broken with a click. And if you're looking for the ultimate example of someone who lived by this principle, it's our national hero, Jose Rizal. He didn't just talk about integrity. His entire life was a testament to it. He chose to use truth as his weapon, and he absolutely knew the danger that would bring. This really lays out the cost and the reward perfectly, doesn't it? Rizal knew that his novels, the ones that exposed all the corruption and abuse of Spanish rule, would put his life on the line. He could have just stayed silent, stayed safe in Europe, but he chose truth. And his sacrifice teaches us this incredible lesson, that while honesty can be dangerous, it builds a legacy that is truly immortal. Now, what's amazing is that these huge values aren't just found in grand historical figures. They're also taught in the most humble of places, like the heart of every Filipino home, the kitchen. And it's right here that we find these simple little rules that can lead to absolutely extraordinary success. Come on, how many of us grew up hearing this over and over? Don't waste food. But this is so much more than just finishing your plate. It's a foundational lesson in being grateful for what you have, and it cultivates two incredibly important values. Sipag, which is that passionate, hardworking diligence, and tiyaga, that quiet, unwavering perseverance to see things through, especially when it gets tough. I know, that might sound like a pretty bold claim, right? A simple kitchen rule as the blueprint for a global empire. But stick with me, because this is where the story gets really, really interesting. That mindset of not wasting, of being resourceful, and just sticking with it, that's exactly what it takes. Just look at the story of Tony Tan Kakshong in Jollibee. He started out with just 2 little ice cream parlors. And then these global fast food giants came into the market. He didn't back down. He applied that same kitchen wisdom, sipag and tiyaga. He and his family worked tirelessly, day in and day out, tweaking recipes to create that uniquely Filipino taste we all love. That perseverance, born from a culture that values every single grain of rice, well, that was the secret recipe for building a global legacy. So, we've seen integrity in a national hero, and we've seen diligence in a business titan. Now, the story turns to you. Because these values, they aren't just history lessons collecting dust. They are tools right here, ready for you to use to weave your own story, your own legacy. So how do we actually do this? Well, first, just keep your word. Practice palabra de honor, even in the smallest promises you make. Next, honor your roots. Never forget the people who helped you get where you are. Apply that same sipag, that passionate diligence, to whatever you're passionate about. And finally, and this one's huge, use your success to lift other people up. And this all brings us to probably the most important point of all. We really have to redefine what a legacy truly is. It has absolutely nothing to do with the money you make or how many followers you have on social media. It's something so much deeper, so much more lasting. A true legacy, it's measured by the lives you touch and the values you pass on to the next generation. It's about living a life so full of purpose that it inspires others to do the same. The lessons are simple, but they are so, so powerful. So the only question left is, what will your story be?